Welcome back to Give 'em a Chance to Farm. Today we're going to be assembling a honey bucket warmer. And actually the cabinet we're building, we'll be able to use it for 5-gallon buckets, or we can even use, it'll have shelves in there, so we can use our metal queen excluders in there and be able to do warm up stuff that's already bottled too if it tries to crystallize on us. So I cut all the parts out the other day, and I'll put a link to where I got the plans in the description below. But you can also, there's another YouTube video, the Woodworker's Bee Shop, I think it is. I'll try to find that video and link that down below also. But basically it was the Michigan Beekeepers Association is where I got the plans from. But it just uses a light bulb and a dimmer switch to control the temperature in there. So I cut all the pieces the other day, and now we're just going to assemble them today. So just putting some glue on here. Brittany's going to use a brush to put the glue on there. It's been a little cool out lately. Since our wind chill around here has been below 0, so I did have her take the glue into the house the other day, but it's still a little thick. Trying to squeeze it out of here, but for those of you that do a lot of woodwork, these glue bots are pretty nice and handy. Comparison to messing with the actual bottles of glue all the time. I just bought this one, and then I can keep refilling it. So, and they come in different sizes also. I actually picked this one up at Menards. So, but it's kind of nice because when you're done, it drains back in there, and basically all you got to do is just put the little rubber cap back over top of it. Alright. So basically the plans tell you you'll cut these pieces out of 1x4, and then your joint is actually going to be a half lap. So the way I did it was, while it was still a 1x4, I went ahead and cut my half lap on the table saw and you can use dado blades if you have them. If you don't have a dado blade, you can still use just your single blade in there. So basically you would come over and do your start cut, and then the way I do it would just be move over like 1/8 of an inch each time and just keep making your cuts until you got them all cleared out. It'd be the same thing, because your normal saw blade is ballpark about 1/8 of an inch width or so, but whatever the width of your saw blade that you're using is, and you can make that same cut without having the dado stack in there. It just takes a lot more repetitions through the saw. And then you go back, once you've got those cut, then you go back and actually rip the 1x4 down to 1.5 inches. So, but basically what I'm going to do here, and you know, bear with me, I'm not building furniture, so I'm going to get this stuff as close as I can, but I'm not going to fret over it being a little bit off, because this is wood from Menards, and I'm sure we all agree that that's not always the greatest in quality. So I'm using the framing square on the outside, and then I'm just going to go ahead and use the speed square on the inside to get it close. Once I got it to where the half lap is looking good, just to hold it in place long enough for the glue to dry. I'm gonna put a couple brads in it. So. So here is the framework for the front, and we'll make another one identical to it. Or I'm sorry, these are the side panels. I forgot. The front and the back have the shelves on it. So we have, this is one of the sides. We'll make the other side match it, and then we'll do the front and the backs. So, all right, we've got both of the, nope, not those are for tops and bottoms. We got both of our side panels done. Now we're going to do the fronts and the backs. So I need just two of these. And then, so the fronts and the backs, have you noticed, they'll have shelves on them. So we're going to do the framework still with our 1x4s, but then the shelves are actually cut out of 2x4s. So we'll get these ready to glue up. For the framework, I'm using 5/8" brads just to hold it long enough till the glue dries. And then on these, with the shelves being 2x4s, I'll actually use 1 1/4" brads to put those in there. I noticed on the last one that the side piece that I put together, it had just a little bit of a twist in it, so it was pulling my brads. So I went ahead and put a 5 pattern on it. So I'm gonna do the same with this one, just to take that chance out of it. It won't pull my brads, it'll stay together while that glue dries. So brads are cheap, so. Right now, the even worse than usual, the quality of lumber doesn't cease to surprise me at Menards, that's for sure. So. Like I said, I'm getting it close. I'm not building furniture, I'm building a box that will heat up some honey. I'll come back and put the shelves on it because I don't want to change brads right now in the middle of this. So.
Well, and this box can also be used if you want to melt off some of the propolis or wax on your queen excluders. It will do that too.
Yeah, and the guy that built it, he also will put his honey frames in there for a little while before he does his extraction even. To me, we bring them right off the hive and extract them, so they're still plenty warm enough, so I don't have an issue with that. But I know some guys bring them in and wait till they get a certain amount before they'll extract, but I mean, we're bringing full supers off if we go to extract, so I guess a lot of that just depends on your time available and your operation. So But this will work for that if that's what you want to do with it.
Couldn't it also, if you brought your frames of honey out of the freezer or refrigerator or whatnot, and
right, so you
bring them up to temperature,
you can bring them up to temp, yeah.
To put them back in the hive if your hive needs more honey.
Yep. And it's that time of year, so we'll actually be attempting to go out later this week, since it's going to be in the 40s around here this week. So we'll go out there and kind of do a real quick pickup on the edge of the hive and make sure we got enough food stores in there still, and go from there. So if we have to, we still have winter bee patties we can put in there. So. The front and the back to put together with the shelves. So I've got the glue on there. Brittany's brushed it out. So now we'll just line everything up. Alright, and then on these, to attach them, I'm going to go through the 1x4 into the 2x4 shelf with an 1.25 inch brad. We're just going to make sure our shelves are flush or inset of the edge. I don't want them sticking out because our panels are going to be putting on there. So. Alright, there's one of them. We'll make the other one match it, and it actually goes in the box that way. So now we're taking our frame pieces and we're going to attach them to the side panel. And for our side panel, we've chose to use 1/4 inch hardy board. So basically what we did was we set it on there. We took a pencil and traced the inside of it, and then now Brittany's gonna run glue down through there, and then she'll brush it, staying within inside that line. So. And then I'm gonna use the once she brushes the glue on there, we'll put the frame up there, stick it into place. I'll flip the panel over, and I'll every so often I'm going to put some 5/8 brads just to hold it long enough that the glue will dry. Yeah, it's only not quite 40 out today. I mean, it's in the mid-30s, and the shop's not heated, so it's a little cool out here. I do have one little bitty fan over there, like fan style.
Need to add more glue.
Okay, so there's our frame piece that we put together earlier.
Good.
Alright, now the only thing we gotta do is flip it over so I can put some brads in it to hold it in place. Double check everything, make sure they're lined up. Yep. Okay. And that's what it'll look like. And then the next thing we have to do is this 3/4 inch foil faced foam back here. I'm going to cut it to fit inside the panel with the foil side facing out as a reflective material. So we'll come back to that. I'm going to get all the side panels put together first. Alright, so now we're getting ready to glue the foam board into the panels. I did make sure that I have the proper construction adhesive for foam board. That way there's not going to be any reactions with the glue and the foam board. So. The silver side facing out. So, and we got this cut for a pretty snug fit, so. And that's all there is to it. And this will be ready to go. So that way the reflective side is out. So, and this is one of the, this will either be the lid or the bottom. So we've got that. So now we're assembling the sides and the front and the back together. So basically I've got it clamped. I'm sitting it on top of the base just to have a reference point for square. We are still using our squares, but like I said, at this point it's kind of going to be what it is. But I am pre-drilling and countersinking my screws. So I'm using 2-inch screws to attach these. So I've got the top on both. There's a screw in both sides on this. I'll just work my way down, making sure everything's good, and then we'll go to the other side and do it. So. Alright, and we've got all the sides screwed together now, and now that it's stable enough, I'll show you the reasoning we chose this design with the shelves on the inside. Like I said, we're not going to be the reason that we use it that way, but it is a possibility. So here is a shallow frame, and you can see it sits in here, and you can heat up the honey in there if you wanted to. Alright, so the reason that we built this one with the shelves on it, you can take some of the scrap 1-bys and put across here for the shelf. I can set a full 5-gallon bucket on there. Be able to bring this up to temperature. It's got a dimmer switch on it. So if you look down inside, you can kind of see it change. And we're going to put just a normal residential hanging thermometer in here so that we can see what the temperature is. We're going to shoot for 110 degrees at first and use it to decrystallize some of the honey. And it depends on who you talk to as to whether or not that temperature is enough or not. So some people have told me I need to get closer to the 120 to be able to completely liquefy it again. So we'll play around with those numbers. The only thing I needed to do now is when I bought the dimmer switch, I knew I had the box and I thought I had a switch plate for it. I do have a switch plate for a dimmer switch, but not for this particular box because this is actually a outside box, so it's a little bit bigger as it goes out, but I like it better. It's heavier duty. And then I need to get some of the little plastic wire retainers where I can just loop it and put the screw in next to it to hold my electrical cord. So, and then handles. That was kind of an afterthought I didn't think about. So my thought is to put a handle on each side, and then I'll also put a handle on the lid too. But that's what it's going to be like. Like I said, with all the foil facing inward on the foam board. And then the plans, this piece down here on the bottom of the bottom shelf is a 6-inch wide piece of aluminum. We had an old piece of siding, so I just cut it down and put it in there. And basically what that's for, if I put a queen excluder in here that I'm trying to clean up and it's got some excess wax and things like that, that if it goes to drip, it can't drip down on top of the light bulb and cause a problem. So that's basically just a shield for the light bulb and diverter. So, but hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share on social media with all your family and friends. And once we start putting this into use, we'll give you an update video. So have a good day. We'll see you.